I never thought a single photo of my daughter could detonate my entire life. But at 6:17 a.m. that rainy Seattle morning, my phone lit up like a damn emergency beacon. It wouldn't stop buzzing, hundreds of notifications. DMs from strangers. Missed calls from numbers I didn't recognize. I sat up in bed, heart slamming against my ribs, and opened Instagram. There it was, the picture I'd posted the night before of Lily in her yellow raincoat at the park, laughing with her head tilted just so, that familiar dimple flashing in her left cheek. The caption had been simple, "Rainy days with my favorite human." Now it had 2 million views. The comments were a storm. "She's literally baby Everly Voss. Uncanny. Billionaire secret daughter? This kid could be her clone." My stomach twisted. Everly Voss, the woman whose face stared back at me from every tech billboard downtown. 34, self-made tech billionaire, razor-sharp in tailored suits. Always photographed with that quiet half-smile that never quite reached her eyes. And yes, the resemblance to my 8-year-old was eerie. Same hazel eyes, same dark waves in the hair. Same little scar above the left eyebrow from a childhood fall. I exhaled shakily and scrolled until a verified blue check stopped me cold. The message was short, "Hi Willow. Saw the photo of your daughter. She looks exactly like I did at her age." No agenda, just wanted to say it hit me harder than I expected. "If you're open to a quick call, I'm here." My thumb hovered. I almost deleted it. But something in the way she wrote hit me made my chest ache. I typed back before I could overthink it, "Give me an hour. I need coffee and to make sure my kid's still breathing." She replied instantly, "Take all the time you need." I remember what mornings with a little one feel like. That was the first crack in the wall I'd spent 8 years building. By noon we were on a video call. Everly sat in what looked like a glass-walled office overlooking the bay. Sunlight catching the silver threads in her otherwise jet-black hair. She wore a simple black turtleneck. No makeup. The magazines never showed. "I don't do this," she said. Voice low and a little rough. "Reach out to strangers." But that photo, it was like seeing a ghost of myself. I laughed once. "Well, she's not a ghost. She's 8. And currently eating cereal straight from the box because I'm too rattled to cook." Everly's smile was small but real. "Frogs. I had a whole terrarium at her age. My foster mom thought I was weird." We talked for 40 minutes. She asked about Lily's school, about the raincoat, about whether the viral thing was freaking us out. I told her the truth. Yes, it was freaking me out. Reporters had already shown up at the apartment complex. One guy yelled through the door asking if Lily was the billionaire's love child. I'd had to pull the blinds and turn on cartoons loud enough to drown them out. Everly's jaw tightened. "I can make that stop." Quietly. I shook my head. "No charity. We're fine." She didn't push. Just said, "But the offer stays open." That night Lily asked why her face was all over my phone. I knelt in front of her, brushed the hair from her forehead, and told her some nice lady thought she was pretty and wanted to say hi. Lily shrugged like it was no big deal and went back to drawing frogs. I sat on the floor after she fell asleep, back against the couch, and let out a long breath that tasted like fear and something else I couldn't name. Everly started texting. Not every day, just enough. A meme about chaotic mornings. A photo of her own childhood terrarium she'd dug up from storage. Still weird, she wrote. I found myself smiling at my screen like an idiot. 2 weeks later she flew commercial, first class. But still, to Seattle. No entourage. She met us at a quiet cafe near the water. The kind with mismatched chairs and the smell of fresh bread. Lily stared at her for a full 10 seconds. Then blurted. Everly laughed. And the sound did something strange to my pulse. We ordered hot chocolate for Lily and coffee for us. Conversation stayed light at first, school projects, favorite books. But when Lily ran to the window to watch boats, Everly looked at me and said, "You're doing this alone?" I nodded. Her dad, he wasn't built for this. She reached across the table. Hesitated. On my wrist. The touch was warm. Steady. My skin prickled. I pulled back. But because I had to. I don't trust anyone, I said. The words falling out raw. Not when it comes to her. Everly didn't flinch. She just nodded once. Like she understood the weight of it. Neither did I. Until I saw that photo and realized some walls might be worth testing. The micro-tensions kept coming after that. She offered to hire a discreet security guy to keep the paparazzi away. I said no. Followed Lily home from school. She sent groceries when I mentioned being swamped with work, organic stuff I could never afford. And I left a stiff thank you note on her hotel door instead of calling. Every time she stepped closer, I felt the pull and the panic in equal measure. But the nights we talked on the phone grew longer. She told me about the boardrooms that felt like battlefields. The way success had left her with a beautiful empty penthouse and no one to leave the lights on for. I told her about the nights I cried in the shower so Lily wouldn't hear. About how being a mom had become my whole identity until the photo reminded me I was still a woman who hadn't been touched in years. One evening she asked if I wanted to bring Lily to her private beach house up the coast for a weekend, just to escape the noise. No cameras. Just us. I said yes before my brain could argue. The drive up was quiet except for Lily singing off-key in the back seat. Everly's hand rested on the gear shift. Close enough that our knuckles brushed when I reached for the AUX cord. Neither of us pulled away. The air smelled like pine and salt when we arrived. The house was all glass and warm wood. Waves whispering against the shore below. Lily ran straight to the tide pools. Everly chasing after her with rolled-up jeans and bare feet. I watched them from the deck, the wind tugging at my hair. And felt something loosen in my chest I hadn't known was knotted. That night after Lily was asleep in the guest room, we sat on the deck with a bottle of wine. The sky was thick with stars. Everly's shoulder pressed against mine. I've spent my whole life proving I don't need anyone, she said quietly. Turns out I was just waiting for the right someone to need me back. I turned to look at her. The moonlight caught the faint scar above her eyebrow, the same one Lily had. My voice cracked. I keep waiting for the catch. For you to realize this is too messy. Too normal. She lifted her hand. Brushed a strand of hair behind my ear. Her fingers lingered on my jaw. Messy is the only thing that's ever felt real to me. Our foreheads touched first. Then noses. Then lips, soft. Tentative. Other might vanish. The kiss tasted like salt air and red wine and 8 years of holding my breath. When we pulled back, her eyes were shining. I don't want to rush you, she whispered. You're not, I breathed. I'm just terrified. We kissed again. Deeper. Heat of her mouth and the steady thud of my heart. The next weeks were a blur of stolen moments and hard conversations. Lily adored her. You're like my big sister who's also a grown-up, she declared one afternoon while they built a sandcastle. But the outside world didn't let us stay in the bubble. A blurry photo of Everly and me walking hand in hand near the beach house leaked. Headlines screamed, "Billionaire's new flame, single mom with look-alike daughter." My ex texted for the first time in years. Suddenly interested in custody. Old friends from high school slid into my DMs asking if I was gay now. I felt the old walls slamming back up. One night in my tiny kitchen. Dishes still in the sink. And Lily asleep down the hall. I told Everly I couldn't do it. My whole life is here. School drop-offs. Peanut butter sandwiches. Being invisible. Your world is spotlights and private jets. I won't let Lily become a prop in someone else's fairy tale. Everly stood by the counter. Hands in her pockets. Eyes steady but sad. I'm not asking you to give up anything. I'm asking if there's room for me in the life you already built so beautifully. She paused. I love you. Not the idea of you. Not the viral story. You, the woman who sighs when she thinks no one's listening, who makes frog-shaped pancakes on Tuesdays. Who told me she doesn't trust anyone and then let me in anyway. I stared at her. The words hung between us like the first raindrops before a storm. I love you too, I said. Voice breaking. But love doesn't pay the rent or keep my kids safe from cameras. I'm her mother first. Always. She nodded. Throat working. Then let me be second. Let me show up for both of you without taking anything away. The choice sat heavy in my chest for days. I walked Lily to school and watched her run ahead. Backpack bouncing. And wondered if I was about to blow up the safe little world I'd fought so hard to keep intact. Everly didn't pressure me. She just kept showing up, quietly picking Lily up. When I had a late shift. Leaving coffee on my doorstep with a note that read no strings. Just caffeine and me thinking about you. One rainy evening I came home to find Everly on my couch. Lily curled against her side reading a book about amphibians. The lamp cast a warm glow over both their faces, so alike it stole my breath. Everly looked up and met my eyes across the room. No words. Everything. I crossed the space. Knelt in front of them. And rested my forehead against hers. I'm stepping up, I whispered. For all of us. Messy. Real. She exhaled like she'd been holding her breath since the first message. Her hand found mine. Fingers lacing tight. It's not perfect. We still fight about money. She wants to pay for everything. I still want to pay for groceries sometimes just to feel like I'm not disappearing into her world. Paparazzi still lurk on bad days. Lily asks questions about why people take pictures of us now. And we answer honestly but gently. Some mornings I wake up next to Everly in my tiny bed and wonder how the hell this became my life. But then she sighs in her sleep and pulls me closer. And I remember the way she looked at me on that beach house deck, like I was the only thing worth slowing down for. Lily has 2 people who would move mountains for her. I have someone who sees the mountains I've already moved and loves me for them anyway. And Everly, she has a family that doesn't care how much her net worth is. Only that she comes home and leaves her phone in the other room. The photo is still out there. People still comment. But the story isn't about a viral lookalike anymore. It's about the mother who stepped up. The billionaire who stepped back. And the space we carved out together, one hesitant kiss. One late night talk. One ordinary Tuesday at a time.